sorry, I don't work for you anymore. 17 stories from employees who got petty revenge on their awful bosses. BuzzFeed. We all knew something was going on with him and another employee. 00. Months later, he wouldn't give me 3 days off because my niece died of SIDS. So I walked out, bought a $30 burner phone, and texted his wife his phone password. They got divorced. 00. Below are your comments. My very first job in high school was in a small Army/Navy store. Every month I'd get my pay in cash, minus the taxes. At the end of the year my dad asked, "Where's your tax statement from the store?" They never sent one. They'd been taking out the tax money and keeping it, and paying me off the boo. KS. My dad went to the store with me on my next shift and demanded all the money be returned or he. They paid up and we walked out. Welcome to the world, son. With age comes confidence and leverage. In the last years of my nursing career I had no qualms about using that leverage. It's even better when you can say with a straight face, "I have $1 million in my 403b. And the hospital down the street keeps calling me." 00. I am taking 2 weeks vacation. 00. Remember, nobody at work company really cares about you. They aren't friends, they're coworkers and will forget about you as soon as you leave, regardless of quitting, fired, retirement. Always remember this. All your decisions should be based on taking care of yourself and your family. Be happy. I desperately needed my job and its health insurance for many years. My spouse was terminally ill and I was raising our kids by myself, so I worked as hard as I could in order to be indispensable to my employer. I was told the week my spouse died that they were relocating me to another office. I asked if it could wait just a few weeks for our last 2 kids to graduate from college, but they refused. I began to see a real pattern in how older employees were treated. The company always had a reasonable reason, but somehow people in their 60s were rarely accommodated, or able to work until full retirement age. My workload got heavier every month, my office got smaller, etc. Eventually I was working long hours, 7 days a week, including doing work that had formerly been done by 3 other people after they had left the company for various reasons. Just before I turned 65, I gave 2 weeks' notice. They were completely unprepared, and gave me a song and dance about how they were just about to promote me. Emo, they just wanted me to stay longer to have a smooth transition of that enormous workload to EU other people. And my boss had to pick up some of his own jobs that he'd routinely been shoving off on me. Was in charge of ordering supplies at my shop. Had a medical condition and was off for several weeks. The day I came back, a delivery was made. I checked it in the binder we used for orders and deliveries. There was one item that had no order. So I wrote one up and put the piece of equipment in the equipment locker. A few hours later, the supervisor screams at me about where was so-and-so's private piece of equipment. Then told me I was no longer in charge of ordering. Throughout the next year, we could all see the affair going on and how the department was supplying the woman with equipment for her own personal use. Then the supplier started demanding payment for the piece I had checked in a year before. The department had no record of the item. The boss called the super in and questioned him. He threw me under the bus, claiming I must have stolen it while I was in charge of ordering. One of my co-workers heard and quickly warned me. I went to the order book, and lo and behold, the order sheet I'd filled out was still there. Pulled it, put it in my lab coat pocket and went back to work. Super tells me boss wants to see me. I go over. Boss apologizes since I'd been there so long, but I stopped him and pulled out the piece of paper, read the serial hash off and told him what had happened that day. Super was called on the carpet and given the choice of being fired or resigning. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you like it, please thumbs up.